Hi guys, this is Monica. I'm back. I just finished watching. I finished watching "A Fall from Grace" by on Netflix by Tyler Perry. I think this is a great movie. It was pretty good. At first, I thought it was gonna be like a Diary of a Mad Black Woman thing, but it turned out to be pretty good. Uh, at first, when I watched it, I seen when the lady had jumped off the roof. I was like, Lord, what's going on? Is this gonna be a scary movie or drama? It's kind of drama. It's kind of drama. So, when the movie first came on, um, uh, Jasmine's husband was trying to get this woman from jumping off the window, but she was saying, me and my husband work for everything. I don't have nobody, and then that thing, she jumped off the roof. Um, Now, as the movie goes on, you'll understand why she jumped off the roof. But this really disturbed him. So he came home and he was talking to Jasmine about how this he didn't want to tell her about it, but it really did disturb her. But she had a lot of I feel like she had a lot going on in her mind anyway from dealing with Grace Water. So excuse me. So the next morning she leaves and she listens to the radio, and the radio is crucifying Grace Waters for, they say, killing her husband. And so she basically listened to the radio. She goes into the office, and her boss, um Lynn Lynn, I think, he in saying was basically telling her, she's the queen of the plea deal, so just get the plea deal. Grace wanted to plead guilty, so just get the plea deal signed, and the case will be over. There's a lot of cases that does that around here in this world. Just because the media and people pressure you to come up with someone for killing somebody, they just want a penny on somebody before even letting the investigation trial go through. Well, anyway, Jasmine, she goes to see Grace, and she, still listens to the radio and talking about she needs the electric chair. And she introduces herself. She goes to the prison. She introduces herself to Grace, and Grace wanted to do it. Let her know that she wanted to do a plea deal, and Grace noticed that she was Catholic, and Grace stated that she just wanted to see her son and grandson. And Jasmine stated to her that she'll probably try her best to get her 15 years with the possibility of parole. Um, so when she was, it kind of, Jasmine, I think she really do believe that, if someone that, cooks cookies for children, is a Catholic, goes to church, goes back home, is not a big trouble, has never had a rap sheet, then I understood where she was coming from when she felt uh that she might be innocent of this, and we need to investigate it more. But they were just so pushing towards this plea deal. But thank God, well, we're gonna get there. So her, Tilsa, and Donnie and her husband was sitting around talking and drinking, and Donnie, he really was upset with her just trying to just take the plea deal. He's saying that you must be real comfortable with just taking a plea deal and for people to just go to jail and not give them the chance to due process. Basically what he was saying, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's best to take a plea deal and sometimes it's not. So he just felt that she needed to look into it more because this woman could be innocent. So till so the Jasmine got kind of mad at Donnie for what he said, and then when they left, Tills was like, Donnie, come here. That's why they don't never want to invite us over here because because the way you always be acting. Jesus. So um then what was going on then Jasmine, she felt like she was having second thoughts on being a lawyer because she went to school to be a lawyer, but she just kind of becoming too much, I guess. Um, So the next day, Jasmine was pressured to talk to a prosecutor about a plea deal. The prosecutor then wanted to hear about 15 years. He wanted her to do life without the possibility of parole. Um, he said he would let Grace be in a penitentiary close to her son and grandson. So Jasmine went and talked to Grace and told her about the life without the possible parole. She agreed to it, and she started crying. I guess this was just Jasmine. Jasmine told Grace about life without the parole. I guess it was just like a reality check for her. Like this is really happening to me. Like I'm finna have life without parole because of some other stuff. And then what the next thing that happened was Jasmine went and found her friend Sarah. But it was something about Sarah that didn't resonate with me. I did something about her that I felt real crooked. So, Jasmine went to see her friend, and she starts to ask her question about Grace and how she met her husband Shannon. And she was telling her about Grace and how she had a lot, going on, and about how her ex-husband before Shannon had married someone else who was like 5 years younger than her son, and that he never changed anything in the house. It was all everything that him and Grace had, built, and she was very kind of angry about it. But Sarah did encourage. So it was a flashback that was showed, and Sarah and Grace was talking, and they was talking about how they was upset, and then Sarah suggested that she go to ChristianMingle.com. I laughed at that. For her to go to ChristianMingle.com to find somebody, but Grace said she just wanted something natural, and then nothing wrong with that. But Jasmine did ask her how they met, and she just let them know that she gave her a little pamphlet said that they met at an art show. Then all of a sudden, when she went to get that paper, Cecily Tyson, I forgot her name, that was on the show. I forgot her name. It'll come back to me. She just appeared on the way, and then she just spoke to her, and she just snuck back up there. Yes, miss. Go to bed. Go to bed. Um, so that's the ending, and then Jasmine, she was showing her husband how she forgot her husband some stuff about what she was looking at the case, and could he look into uh, Grace's husband because the blood spattered something about that, and so she went to the office the next day and tried to get the plea deal, get the blood splatter investigated, but he denied it, and he just told her to just take the plea deal. Since Grace is already saying that she's just gonna take the plea deal, just take the plea deal and let Grace sign it. So she did that. So we get over to the jail, and she handed her the plea deal, and then she just told her, she said, "Can I get a pen?" And then she said, "Yeah." So she got the pen, and then she pulled out the little pamphlet for the art show, and she asked her what happened to her. Grace was kind of afraid to tell her really what was going on. So she was just so she finally just went and told her. She said, so the flashback came up, and she was like, heels, heels. That's all I can remember is heels. But what it was, Sarah had gave her a flyer and told her to go. She met him, Shannon, at the art show because Shannon was the one that was doing the art show. So he asked her out for coffee and stuff like that. And well, first he found her at her job, and they went out for coffee that same night. And he wined and dined her. He was going to church with her. But I think he had glasses on the church. I don't think he really was that interested in church. He was just sitting there. He was just sitting there. Y'all excuse my children. They in the back playing. So But she began to love him and fall in love with him, especially because she's an older lady. She getting attention and some of that attention, and then so she thought she was so happy with him. Um, and she thought he was special, the man of her dream. And so then it went back to Grace and Jasmine. She was telling her she knew she did not. She knows she don't try cases. She knows she the woman. She do the plea deals, and she doesn't trust Jasmine like that. Let me go back. Um, so she told she was just she know that she didn't don't try cases. She was like she just take plea deals. So it kind of ended there at that scene. But Jasmine, her husband, was walking at the park, and she was saying that she wanted over with, and that just let her take the plea deal, and he advised her to hear the rest of the story. So she went back to talk to Grace, and she was telling Grace something's not right. She believes she is innocent. I know I have nothing. She was telling her, I know I haven't taken anything but plea deals, but let me help you. I feel that you are innocent, and there's something just not right. So Grace gave her the rest of the story. She was just saying, how he wined and dined her, how he made her so happy, and that he proposed to her on proposed to her. They got married, and she thought that he was the man of her dream because he was so nice and sweet to her. She was saying that she was giving her so much love and attention that she never stopped to see what kind of man he really was. Sometimes that what it was. People, let me tell you something about people. Some people, they got. I ain't saying that people don't. Everybody got fault, but some people they try to mask it until they get in there, and then that's when the unfolding comes. When they get in your personal life, in your personal space, in your home, they be all sweet and kind and nice to you. And then the next thing you know, boom, hit a real me. But anyway, back to the story. So she said, everything was just good and get dandy, but then when it turned bad, it got bad real fast. She called him on the phone with someone, telling me that you like the fireflies and things like that. And she was like, "Who you on the phone with?" And then he was like, "Grace, I don't like to be questioned and all that." So he got all upset. So I think probably the next day, a couple days later, the big bosses came and they called her in the office, and they was like, "Grace, we knew you think we wasn't gonna catch on to this. You stole $379,000 from the bank, and you used it to take you. We know it was you because your passwords and stuff was being used. You think we weren't gonna notice that?" So they fired her. She was like, "What is going on?" I would have been the same way. I would have been like, "What is going on? Like, is this really happening to my life?" Like, she really didn't know what happened because she said this is not her. She would not do that. She loved her job. And then she said for her boss to talk to her the way that he talked to her really kind of hurt her. And that's understandable. So she said she felt like someone had stole her identity. So, she get home, she was talking to Sarah, and she was talking to Sarah, somebody had stole my identity. I don't know what's going on. And then, Shannon had showed up, and she was like, "Shannon, where you been? I've been trying to contact you all day." And he coming up with this smug look on his face. And then he was like, "Sarah." He said, then no, not Sarah, Grace. What's going on or whatever. He tried to make some narcissistic excuse. A narcissist. And so um Sarah told me, "Do you?" He said, "Well, I'm not. So Sarah said that she wasn't gonna leave. Because I'm gonna defend my friend." And then he's like, "No, Sarah, you can go ahead and go." So she was looking like she was like, "Where you been? Where you been with another one of your women?" He said in front of Sarah. Anyway, but he got upset and talking about some. "Oh, I'm not finna deal with this. I'm finna leave you." Basically, what he was finna say. "I'm tired of being accused." So what ended up happening is She was like, no, no, babe, I'm just going through so much, somebody has stolen my identity. So he tried to help her figure out who had stolen her identity. So the next day, so she went to another bank and she found the bank said that she need to make a mortgage payment. She was like, hold up. Why would I want to make a mortgage payment when, my house is paid for? Like, they was like, no, you done took out a second mortgage, was taken out of your account. And there was another $300,000 that was taken out on the house. And but so she found out the signal was taken out of her house, and she said she never took out another mortgage. Why would she do that when she know her house is paid for? What crazy person would do that? And so she was like, and so I think I lost my thought. So her house was about to be put in foreclosure. They said they needed the payments.
Mom, do you mind
So
my nose?
okay. So she went. They gave her address to where the paper was notarized, and it was an abandoned house. Saying they went back to the bank and found it out. She looked at the surveillance to figure out who was who signed that paper, and found out it was Shannon that took out the second mortgage on that house. So she confronted him. Um, and she confirmed. And you know what? I would have too, because that's not right. You don't. That is so low down to take. Really? Then so she confronted him. She was like, "I know what's going on, or who done stole my identity." He was like, "Who?" And then she was like, "Check your phone." Okay, I got proof. You did it. He was like, "Oh, Grace. Oh no, I didn't. I was going through something. Just lying, just lying. Oh, Grace, I was just going through something. I owe people some money, and then, people that they are bad people. That if I don't, I'm gonna pay you back the money." And then she was like, "No, I don't believe this. She said she asked for she asked for her money back. She asked for her money back, and he told her, I ain't giving you nothing. I have every right to the money according to those marriage papers." See what I'm talking about? Sometimes people will get with you for a reason, for real. Some people ain't right. I'm telling you. Oh, this so made me so upset. So she was so upset, and she realized she had been conned. So she tried to put him out. He couldn't leave because they legally married. They had to be legally married and separated and go through the course for 2 years. She tried to call the police. He was not going to leave because the marriage paper said that he has the right to the house, the right to everything. So she tried to find a lawyer. She could not afford a lawyer. He had another woman and then okay, she come. I think she probably came from the lawyer office, and there was like, um, another woman. He had another woman in the house, and it was that's just so low down. To me, that was just so low down, disrespectful for him. Then after he had that girl thinking that she was his mother, and he was like, "No, my mother should be better than that." Something he said, but it was just very mean. So after they did what they did, he come in there and talked to Grace. Grace was like, "Shannon, give me my money." He said, "I ain't finna give you nothing." He said that I have the right to that money just as much as you do. You did. Because you owe me this money because I had brought happiness to your miserable life. And I'm like, really? He said, you made it too. He said, I did, if it was, I did feel bad because, you older and you know what I'm saying, you a good person. But he said you made it too easy, because you're lonely and you're weak and this and that. He just said a lot of mean stuff. And then I said no. Though I said that's why you never show people your weaknesses. People show your weaknesses, they will use it against you. People will do that. They will use your weaknesses against you. That's why I said, man, from now on, never. I'm gonna stay strong. If you're gonna use something that I tell you, or something that my weaknesses, or something that that can get next to me against me, then I don't need you. I don't need you. And this is messed up. So he basically was saying that she was mean. She was lonely and needed a man, and she was like, you know what, Sarah? And that thing, Sarah got a bat and beat him up upside his head. And I was so happy about that. He needed that. He needed that. He needed more than that. He probably needed killing. She thought she killed him, but I was down for it. I was down for it. I know I was wrong for saying that, but I'm just going, this the movie. So he was wrong. You don't do people like that. You do not do people like that. You don't. It is some con artists like this in the world, baby. Believe that they will fake like they love you and care for you, but really just trying to get next to you to see what you got, then try to take it. Promise. So, after she beat him, she put him down in the basement, and then she left and drove to a undisclosed location. She didn't know where she was going. She was just driving. So she just called Sarah and told Sarah that she killed him. So Sarah was supposed to went and got the body, but she said her son ended up coming by the house when was by the house when she came through. She didn't. She said he was acting agitated, so she thought he had got the body, and so Jasmine asking her where is the body. She didn't know, so it was time's up. So Jasmine asked Grace where was the body, and she said she didn't know. So there is no body. And I said, something ain't right. There ain't no body. Somebody, I said, in my mind, like, man, something ain't right. They ain't got the body. Because I'm like, something ain't right with this story. So she went and talked to Sarah, and Sarah was saying that, Grace's son Grace's son Malcolm was there, and he acted agitated, and he probably took the body, or Grace, she was so delirious and out of it that she may have just taken the body and put it off and dumped it in the river. So they went back to the office, and Ian, I think his name, told her she is not a lawyer and that she is a good at plea deals, and she needs to get this plea deal done because they don't have any money to try this case. So uh, Jasmine went to Grace and told her that to change her mind. Like, she can really help her. She thinks she is innocent. So what ended up happening is she was innocent, and so she felt like she was innocent. So what ended up happening is Grace decided to tell Ian that she is gonna go ahead and not take the plea deal. So he told Jasmine that I know you got Grace to not take this plea deal, which was a great plea deal, but if you don't win this case, you're gonna lose your job and your reputation. So so they went to court, and so they getting everything prepared for this case. Tilsa, Donnie, and Jasmine. So here comes the trial. Okay, the prosecutors came from the gate saying that she was a bad person, a cold-blooded killer, don't care, don't have no regards for human life. So then Jasmine comes and she debunked everything that the prosecutor said. Made her seem like a model citizen. And then they had